Hey Flosstube, it's Zoe. How are you guys doing? I hope everyone in the US had a great 4th of July, and I hope all of you just had a great stitchy week. I had a good week. It's Sunday today. It's Sunday afternoon right now. It's beautiful outside. We got back from my parents this morning where they tried to give our 3 boys root beer floats, and apparently our kids do not like root beer. It was like once they poured the root beer on the ice cream, it was like all over. They were so upset. But it was a fun trip down there. We went berry picking at a farm yesterday, which was a lot of fun too. We got there around 10 after it had opened at 8, and the raspberries that they had were pretty much all picked already, but we still managed to find a few, and we picked a bunch of cherries, which are kind of sour, so I think my husband wants to bake them into like an apple cherry pie. So anyway, it's been a good summer weekend, and I'm excited to be floss tubing with you all right now. I have 2 different giveaways today, so stay tuned. And let's see, I have a finish to show, I have a couple of whips, and the giveaways. I think that's pretty much it. So let's get started. So my finish, I finished, and now I'm going to blank on the name. I don't remember the name of it, and I don't have the pattern here, but it is the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery seasonal collection. It's the spring one. It's like spring cottage garden, something like that. I will link to it in the description. Here it is finished. I'm so happy with how this turned out. I mentioned on the last video that I really enjoyed stitching this. That was true for finishing it this past week too. I finished it on the 4th of July, and I mostly had this bottom row of flowers left, which was really fun to do. It was just, a lot of times I look at this part of the chart and I think, oh, that's going to be a lot of color changes. I don't really want to do that, but then I get to stitching it, and it's really pretty enjoyable. I think once you're used to doing a lot of color changes, it's not, at least I don't find it that annoying. I have fun doing it. So yeah, so this is my spring finish, and that is related to my first giveaway. So unfortunately I can't give away the chart. This is an electronic pattern, and I very much respect the designer's wish that the patterns not be shared once they're used, and I think you should all go just buy this pattern, right, to support the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery, but I do have all of the thread left that I used to stitch it. And I've mentioned a couple of times that I have kind of a minimalist approach to stash. I don't keep a lot of stuff around. In the past, I had just been donating things to a local Goodwill type store, and I will still probably continue to do that with some things, but I just think giving stuff away on Flosstube is a neat way to get it to people that are part of this community and might have a good use for it. So I will show you the floss. And I mentioned too, I love the colors in this chart. If you like kind of happy, bright colors, this is a great pattern. And of course, I don't know the right way to hold floss, but here's the DMCs that go with it. And then there's also 2 colors of Weeks dye works, and these were really fun to stitch with. The turquoise in particular, which is blue topaz, I really love that color, and there should be plenty of these left. There should be plenty floss left to do another version of the pattern. So if you would like all of the floss to stitch the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery spring pattern, and again, I will link to the pattern and the actual name of it. It's something with spring in a garden. I'll link to that below in the description, and just leave a comment, and if more than one person leaves a comment, I will pick a random winner and announce on my next Flosstube, which I've been doing these once a week. I think I'm going to stick with that for July at least, so hopefully next week I will be posting another video and announcing the winner just of the floss, and then you can go buy the chart online. So that's my first giveaway. I now have 2 of these seasons done, so I also have autumn done, so I thought it would be fun to just show them both together. They were both a lot of fun to stitch, and it is neat. This is actually the first time I've looked at them together. Autumn was a lot of fun to stitch too. Autumn, my favorite part of Autumn is the apple slices at the bottom. I just think that's adorable. And the little, pink Starbucks or Caribou coffee, whatever the girl is holding. That was really fun to stitch too. And also the pumpkin pie. There's little slices of pumpkin pie. So lots of fun stuff in these. It's like one of those things where it's just exciting to get to these little motifs in the pattern, and they all tie together into a great design. So here's the two of them together. I have winter and summer left to do now, and I think I'll probably do winter next. We'll see. I don't know if it's going to be my next project, but I would like to keep going, every 2 or 3 months with these at least, to get them all finished. And I've done both of these on 14 count Aida. Spring is on Wichelt Country Blue Aida, and Autumn is on, I think this is Zweigart Dirty, 14 count. It has a different feel than the Wichelt. The Wichelt is a little bit of a firmer weave, and I thought the holes were a little bit bigger and easier, but both of the fabric is really nice. I have started stitching pretty much exclusively on Aida from Stitchville by Wichelt or by Zweigart versus the Aida that you can get in Joanne by Charles Croft. I think the Aida in Joanne is great, and I think one of the great things about cross stitch is that you can go to Joanne and get everything you need and make some really amazing pieces without having fancy linen or without having overdyed floss. There's just a lot of great designs in Aida and DMC, and I think that's really neat that Joanne makes that accessible for everyone. As I've stitched more, I do prefer the fabric quality by Zweigart and Wichelt, and so I have been, and the color selection too. So I've been having a lot of fun going to Stitchville and picking out, Stitchville is my LNS here in Minnesota, and picking out the Aida or the linen for my pieces. So those are my two seasonal pieces. We'll see when I start the next one. Winter and summer are both very cute too, so I'm excited to keep going in this series. And it's been a good confidence boost for me too. I think I don't always have a lot of confidence about my ability to finish things. And so it's neat to work in a series because the size of each piece isn't intimidating. I think that these pieces are probably about 80 stitches wide by maybe 110 tall or so. And that's a size that I can pick up and feel pretty comfortable with. Okay, I'm going to be able to finish this. But I'm doing 4 of them in a series, and so that's starting to make me think, oh, maybe eventually I might want to do a larger piece, and a larger piece would, the piece itself would be bigger, but it won't be any bigger than doing 4 of these together, right? So I can start to think about that. It's just been a good way to build my confidence and feel like I really can stick with things. So that's been fun too. So that was my finish. I have 2 works in progress. I had showed a quilt kit from Connecting Threads last time, and I was planning to just do that as my one project because I do like working on one project at a time. I changed my plans a little bit just because quilting, where I have my quilting stuff is in kind of its own area of the house, and it's not really around the kids, it's not really around other stuff. And one of the great things that I love about cross stitch is that I can do it pretty much anywhere, and that's another reason I stitch a lot on Aida, just because I don't need any special light or anything to see it. And I stitch on maybe larger counts than a lot of people do, just because I can pick it up, take it around. I don't have to have amazing lighting to do it, and do it around the kids. It's easy to be interrupted. And so just having only a quilting project, I just felt like that maybe wasn't the best for my kind of stitchy life balance right now. So I decided to do a cross stitch project and then just work on the quilt little by little. And so the quilt, I have only really ironed a couple of the fat quarters, but I thought I would show the colors again, so because I didn't show it very much last time. So this is the pattern. It's called Homeward Bound. It's from Connecting Threads, and I'm starting on there's 9 patches in alternating blocks. I'm starting on the 9 patches, which are made from fat quarters. And here's the few that I have ironed in these nice blue shades. And then there's these other sort of country or autumn shades to go with it too. And I will spread these out a little bit more so you can see it. So here's the other colors. I love this red. It's like red on red tonal fabric. It's showing very true on the camera. Love that color, and I'm looking forward to starting to cut into this and make the 9 patches. So I will probably just be doing 10 minutes here and there this week and probably just get some of the cutting done, probably not even start sewing it, but I'm going to work on that little by little. And then I have another start. So then I had a cross stitch start, and I decided to start August from Country Cottage Needleworks in the Cottages series. Hopefully you can see that. Okay, there's some glare. So here's what I have so far on that. Super fun. I love these cottages. I'm looking forward to continuing this series as well too, and I'll hopefully have more progress to show you next week. I'm doing this in the called for colors on 16 count Aida from Wichelt in the colorway Lambswool. I love this color. The white shows up enough, but it's still a light fabric, and I really enjoy that. So that's my new cross stitch start. So now, last thing, I have a giveaway. I talked about Lindy Stitches Birds to the Boughs pattern last time. I love Lindy Stitches and her designs. I just think this is a fabulous design. I have it on my laptop to show you. It doesn't do it justice. Please go click on the link to her Etsy shop. Watch her Flosstube where she shows it. I'll link to those below in the description. And if you want to enter a giveaway for this pattern, just leave a comment saying you're interested in stitching the birds pattern, and I will pick a winner next week. Such a great pattern. It is a PDF pattern, but I've arranged with Stephanie of Lindy Stitches to send the pattern to the lucky winner. You will get it in your email. So here is the pattern. It says, "As birds are fitted to the boughs, so was my love to me." And like I said last time, I just adore this design. I'm not planning to stitch it right now because I want to keep working on some of the other series that I have going on that I just showed you. But I thought doing the pattern as a giveaway, sorry about the glare, doing the pattern as a giveaway would be a great way to just share the design and get it out there a little bit more. So if you guys want this, leave a comment. Such a great design. Some of the things that I really like about her design are the colors look awesome. I love the kind of mix of kind of swirly motifs with the geometric patterns, and I love the sentiment too. This could be something that you think about. Your love could be obviously a spouse or a partner, but it could be, you know, a pet you're really attached to. It could be a child, a niece or a nephew. It could be a lot of different things. And so, or it could be cross stitch. Your love could be cross stitch and how much you love stitching. So leave a comment if you want that. And thank you, Lindy Stitches. Thank you, Stephanie, for collaborating on this giveaway and doing such beautiful designs. She has a lot of other stuff in her shop too. You guys should check it out. So with that, I hope you have a great stitchy week. I say this every time, but I love the Flosstube community. I love all of you guys. I think about you stitching. I think about you just loving cross stitch and living your lives, and I hope you all have a wonderful week ahead, and I will see you again soon. Bye.